Alrighty, folks. So today I'm going to go ahead and try to do a how-to series on how to basically build your own fishing rod. Some of it's going to be explanations. Some of it's going to be hyperlapse of just me wrapping thread, and we'll go from there. But today I'm just going to show you guys how to place a reel seat and find the spine, and then put your guides on real quick. And also, um, once the guides are put on, um, making sure that the line's not going to touch the blank. So here we go. So this is your reel seat. I know it's not conventional like most reel seats are, like that one is. But like I said in the previous video, I've really enjoyed using this one. It's quick, it's easy. It seems to fit better, and if for whatever reason your reel seat strips out or just doesn't want to work anymore, all you got to do is cut 3 rows of threads, and that's it. You don't have to cut your decorative wrap off that you spent 10 plus hours wrapping. You can just real quick cut it off and put a new reel seat on, and you're good to go. I do epoxy uh, the threads on the reel seat so they won't come undone, and that's just all the epoxy does is just add strength and help protect the black from fading over time. There are plenty of reel seat guides and guide placement charts online. I'm not going to really go into that. Mudhole has a good source. Even if you Google search guide spacing or reel seat spacing, um, you'll be able to find plenty of links. This particular one is at 22.5 inches from the bottom, and then all I did was just went up. Like I said, this one's going to be a mirror image of my first rod. I might do a slightly different decorative wrap, but we'll see. But then you start your first guide, and then all of the other guides as well. Sorry, I've got some things in the way, but I'll go into finding the spine here shortly. Okay, so this is the blank that I'm using, and I've already got the guides spaced out. And what I do when I'm trying to find the spine is I'll put a piece of tape down once I do find it, and just get some Sharpie to mark roughly where it is. It's not going to be exact, but once you find the spine, mark it, and then that's when you put your guides down, and then um, once you get your guides down, then you're going to what I did on this rod was just ran some string through, and I'll show you on another fishing rod. Um, Ran some string through it and pulled back just to make sure that the spacing was correct and that the um, line wasn't going to touch the fishing rod blank. Because when it does hit the blank, you run the risk of the line either chafing into the blank, or you end up having problems in the long run. So it's better to address it now than later. But I know I can do it on the carpet. But basically, the nice thing is I've got the guides on it, and you can actually see it kind of kick over. Oops. You can see it kick over, and that's your spine. So I forget the rule of thumb, but all of mine I put on the spine. I don't put it on. Some rods you can go 180 out and put it there. I think on most spinning rods you do that, but on casting rods you want to put it on the spine. You got more support and a little more strength as well. So I always put mine on the spine, and like I said, when you do see it kick over like that, you'll feel it. It'll feel like a almost like a speed bump in the road. Not quite as harsh, but you'll definitely feel like a little bump almost. And that's how you know you found your spine. So once you find your spine, this is just for demonstration purposes. Once you find your spine and put your tape on your guides, what I like to do is pull back on the fishing rod to make sure that the line is not going to touch the blank. It's okay if it's barely above it, but you really don't want it touching the blank, especially on casting rods. And hopefully you guys can see the line. I'm using Cajun Red, so hopefully you can see it. And like I said, this is just for demonstration purposes. If it was a rod that I was actually building and whatnot, I'd pull back a little harder, but it's kind of hard to hold the phone and hold the fishing rod at the same time. But yeah, like I said, really all you're doing is just making sure that your initial spacing is fine. You're not going to have any issues, and it's really that simple to get it set up. That's the easy part. Okay, so once you get your initial spacing for your guides, next is going to be your decorative wrap. This takes a little bit of planning to do because there's a couple different designs. Billy Vivona's book has a lot of designs, so does Dale Clemens. Guys, you can even get on Facebook and get on some of the custom rod building pages and see what they build. And the stuff on there, it'll take me a lifetime to get to that level. I've only been doing this for 4 years, and some of the stuff that they do is it's incredible with what you can do with this. But anyway, so this is the current project. This was one I actually finished over the summer before I went on vacation. And this is you have a choice between a diamond wrap chevron, 2-axis chevron, 4-axis chevron. I mean, you could probably do an 8-axis chevron if you want. And all that is just the style of wrapping. There's really nothing special, just it's your style of wrapping. So on this fishing rod, like I said, this one's just out for demonstration purposes. On this fishing rod, the red and white and the black is a diamond wrap, and then the black and gold is a chevron. On my first fishing rod, it's all diamond. And the first rod I did not color preserve. This fishing rod I did is color preserved, and I'm really impressed with how it turned out. This one, I actually did a 4-axis chevron, and it's kind of an opposing chevron. I just left it open instead of closing it. But basically, and I can show you guys in another video, is with your chevrons, you go up on 2 different sides. And it's kind of hard to explain. It's better to show you. And so basically I went up on the lighter colors and down on the darker colors, and that was the end result. And this is a 4-axis. This isn't a 2-axis. 2-axis, when people say 2-axis or 4-axis, think of a compass. North being 0, south is 180, stuff like that. West is 180, or west is 270, and east is 90. So think of a compass when people say you want a 4-axis, 2-axis, 8-axis. You're just going to include northeast, southeast, southwest, and um, northwest. But those are a little more complicated. I haven't gotten that far yet. But anyway, the wrap down here is 2-axis. The wrap here is a 4-axis. So this wrap here that I'm doing, it's going to be a 2-axis wrap. I'm not really going to do a whole lot of anything fancy with it, but we'll see what happens. One other thing I wanted to touch on was the length of rod also depends on where your reel seat's going to go and really what you're going to use it for. So this fishing rod is mostly going to be, you can hold it in your hand or put it in a sand spike and either sit and wait, or you can use it in throwing plugs and stuff like that. I know for flounder fishing it's better to have a reel seat like maybe down here so you can just kind of use your wrist and flick it. With the other fishing rod I had out, the reel seat's actually at 30 inches. So when you're building a fishing rod, all the little things do come into play, and figuring out what works, what's not going to work, what's comfortable for the person that's going to be using it. It's really a personalized fishing rod, and that's what I enjoy about building them. Is each fishing rod may have the same use overall, but different applications. So, like, I can go out and throw for red drum with this fishing rod, or throw for flounder. But anyway, like I said, what I'll do is probably do a hyperlapse video of wrapping this decorative wrap, and then as things come up that I find important, I'll make a note and let you guys know. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.